listen, I am no expert in the human mind. I'm no expert in anything. I'm not an expert in relationships. I'm not an expert in anything at all. But I'm not even an expert at interacting with other people. But I'm going to tell you what I'm an expert at. That's reading people. Okay, I might be wrong sometimes. Sometimes I might think that I'm reading someone this way, and I think that someone is a certain way, and then they turn out not to be. But here's the thing: usually I'm right about people. Usually I'm damn right about people. Why? Because I read their actions, not what they say. I pay attention to what they do, not to what they say. Okay. Like, they say that psychologically somebody can lie to you for like 3 months. Also, like, if in case you're wondering, if I have this thing on my face, it's because I just got a wisdom tooth removed yesterday. And it's still a little bit bloated. And so I'm applying a little bit of heat. I just came back from work. So yeah, this is carrot, in case frozen carrot, in case you were wondering. Because I have another ice bag, but it's water now. Sarjunar. Anyway, so ignore that, okay? So the thing is, I've seen, and I have a friend who's constantly thinking, like, and who's like, I mean, always, fuck, I'm stuttering. We always have this conversation, right? And she's always like, but this person says this thing, you know what I mean? And I believe them, but then they do this other thing, and I'm like, well, it's fucking obvious, at least to me, you know what I mean? If they're saying one thing and then they do another, you have to believe what they're doing. Like, if somebody tells you, and we had a friend, like another friend of ours, an ex-friend of ours said, okay, so friend number one is the friend that I talked about before, and now friend number two is also our friend, and friend number three is not really hanging out with us anymore. So friend number three told friend number two that he loved her, as friends obviously, but he said that he loved her. How can you tell me, and I've said this before in other videos, how can you tell me you love me? Like, you can do that, you can lie if you want, but here's the thing, it is a lie, because if you act like you don't love me, if you act like you don't give a shit about me, if you act like, okay, I prioritize these other friends over you, you know what I mean? If these friends are hanging out and they're not coming, it turns out that they're not coming, I'm not gonna go because I'm not interested in just hanging out with you. You know what I mean? Or like, if I had to choose between them and you, I'd choose them. Is that love? Is that really, really love? You may appreciate the person. You may have some sort of attachment, but you don't really give a fuck about the person deep down. You know what I mean? Like, you give more fucks about these other people. You prioritize these people. You know what I mean? These people are. Wait, is the lighting bad? I think it's bad because I'm kind of backlight and the sun is kind of setting. So yeah. Anyway, so you know what I mean? You gotta read people's actions. Obviously, he doesn't love you. If he says one thing and he does the complete fucking opposite, people do what they feel. You know what I mean? I do as I feel, you do as you feel. Like, for instance, I don't know if I have ADHD or if I'm just lazy, but it's really fucking hard for me to sit down and to focus on my thesis, on my master's thesis. Call me lazy, call me ADHD, whatever the fuck you want. But my actions is, I don't want to do this. I'd rather do anything fucking else because this is torture. Those are my actions. I could tell you that, oh my god, I love it. I love what I'm researching right now. I love what I'm doing. I love the things that I'm, investigating about. I love what it is about. Like, I love the topic. I do like the topic, but I can't tell you that I love it, that I'm fascinated about it if I'm not fucking doing it. If I really liked it so much, it wouldn't be so hard for me to sit down and fucking do it. Did my parents just arrive home? No. So, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to believe someone's actions. Like, people who say, like, oh my god, I love studying. Why do you get such shit grades? Do you know what I mean? Like, you would be at home studying all fucking day long if you really actually liked studying. There's people who really actually like studying. They are, as I call them, statistical anomalies, but it could happen. It could be a thing. So, is this less bloated? I don't know. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna drink some water. You know what I mean? So, I have a crush on this guy from my internship. He, as far as I know, he has 2 girls. One of them, he says he likes her, but she's like traumatized, whatever the fuck. Sometimes she's with him, sometimes she's not. And the other one, he doesn't like her. It's all fucking wrong. It's all a fucking lie. So the girl that he likes, and she's sometimes with him, sometimes without him, call her traumatized, call her whatever. Like, I understand that, like, some girls can get cheated on. I'm gonna make up. I don't fucking know what's going on. Like, what I told you is what I know. But let's figure out what happened. If she's really traumatized, and sometimes she's with him, sometimes she's not, I don't give a fuck if a girl or a guy, whoever the fuck it is, got cheated on, got lied to, was in an abusive relationship, whatever the fuck. If a human being, if a person, if a piece of shit wants something, they go fucking get it. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can't do. You know what I mean? I consider myself shy, especially growing up, and I'm not really good at like eye contact with people when I like them and shit, but or just eye contact in general because I'm kind of shy. I don't fucking know. But the thing is, I try. Like when I like someone, even if I'm not like super confident that oh my god they're gonna be obsessed with me or whatever, even if I don't really believe that about myself, which maybe I should have more confidence, but I still try. I still try with them. I still try to talk to them, maybe try to be funny, maybe whatever, you know what I mean? And when they tell me something, I act interested, even if I don't really care. You know what I mean? What was I gonna say? So this girl, I don't give a fuck if she got cheated on, if she was traumatized. I don't give a fuck what happened to her, okay? He doesn't convince her at all. Because I could be traumatized as fuck, but if I really like this motherfucker, if he's really the guy of my dreams, if this guy is really the one for me, you know what I mean? If I really, really like this guy, like, maybe he's handsome as fuck, or maybe I like his personality more than his looks, whatever, for whatever the fuck reason it is, if I really like that motherfucker, I go get him. I used to have a crush on a piece of shit who was a narcissist. Why am I pointing that way? He's not that way. But I had a crush on a guy who was a narcissist, and he was beautiful. I would still, try to talk to him and shit like that, even if he was not the one for me. I knew he wasn't the one for me, but I still wanted him. So what did I do? I go and chase. Not chase, but like, you know what I mean? I tried to get what I wanted. You know what I mean? If you have a goal, you want to get this guy, well, the least you got to do is talk to him. And I would do exactly fucking that. Every time there was a chance for me to interact with him, I would take that motherfucking chance. Because I like that guy. I know he's not the one. I know I'm not going to get married to him, whatever the fuck. But I want this guy. And I want him now. And I'm going to get what I want. Do you know what I mean? And guys should be like that too. Are you really going to marry the girl that you're dating right now if you're in your early 20s? Very likely not. Especially with these generations and today, very likely you're not going to marry her. But you still had to, let's say, chase her at some point. You still had to court her, you know what I mean, talk to her and stuff like that, invite her to shit. I assume that. You know what I mean? Why am I getting angry? Why am I getting angry? But here's the thing. Like, he likes her. He likes her because he's, like, even though she sometimes, like, leaves him and then she comes back and she leaves and she comes back and he's always there, he has to like her. He likes her. Okay, he didn't lie there. But she can't like him if she's always, like, going back and forth. You know what I mean? If I'm going back and forth, it's because I'm not sure. Or because I can't find anyone else who's better. You know what I mean? If I'm going back and forth, it's because I'm trying with other guys. I'm trying to see if there's another guy who's better than this motherfucker to see if something happens. And then if nothing happens, it's all right. You know what I mean? I come back with him because, you know what I mean? He's my second plate or my last plate or my only option right now. You know what I mean? It's my, what my mom usually says, she is my worse is nothing. Worse is fucking nothing, because she doesn't want to be alone, and this is the only option you got, this is the guy that's always there, you know what I mean? It's your, I don't know what you call it, I don't fucking know, but you know what I mean? She doesn't like him, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck he thinks. Oh, she's traumatized. She doesn't like you enough. I don't give a fuck how traumatized she is. If she really fucking liked you, she would stay there, especially because she's a woman. She would commit, and she would be there every fucking day. She would choose you every fucking day. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or whoever it is watching this right now or an MB. Who cares? I don't give a fuck who's watching. But if somebody wants something, they go fucking get it. And if you want something and if you don't go fucking get it, I'm not saying I'm an expert in going and getting things or like pursuing things or whatever, but you gotta at least put some effort. You know what I mean? You can't just let your life pass you by. You can't be just watching your own life happening. You know what I mean? You gotta do shit. You gotta make things happen, right? And the other thing is this other, I'm sorry, that's rude. I'm sorry, that's rude in the UK, but everybody does it. I don't know, is it rude anymore? Like, is it considered rude anymore? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Then this other girl, who he said he doesn't like. He was like, one of them is traumatized, the other one I don't like her. Honey, if you don't like her, why did you mention her? Why did you fucking mention her? If you don't like her, you wouldn't even consider her at all. Do you know what I mean? If I don't like a fucking guy, I don't even mention him. I don't give a fuck if he has a crush on me, okay? I call it cattle, you know what I mean? Like, I got cattle, like, I got guys that have crushes on me or whatever, but, like, my love interests are the guys that I have a crush on, not the guys that have a crush on me. Now, here's the difference between men and women, and I hate to be one of these people that are like, men and women, you know what I mean? Because at the end, we're all fucking people. But the thing is, like, men, even if they don't like a girl, if she's DTF, down a fuck, in case you're, I don't know, you live in a cave, I sound like I live in a cave for saying it means down a fuck. But anyway, so if she's DTF, no, if he's DTF, no, if she's DTF, even if he doesn't like her, do you think he would miss that fucking opportunity? Men are hunters and women are prey, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, if a woman offers herself to a man, even if she's not his ideal, like, standard of beauty, whatever the fuck it is, he does not give a crap. Everybody is okay to fuck. They're okay with fucking anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, ideally, they want to fuck whoever they want to fuck. But if somebody offers themselves to them, they're not going to say no. I'm not going to say it's all men. I'm not going to say they're not going to say no to anybody. But for, like, normally, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? So, he doesn't like her, okay? But he still is mentioning her. You know what I mean? She's still an option. She's still a plan B. Why are you mentioning her if you don't like her? You must like her at least a little bit. You still have her there. Do you know what I mean? And if a girl likes a guy, no, if a girl doesn't like a guy, she won't even look at him. You know what I mean? Unless she's like fucking desperate and she thinks that she can't find anybody. I'm sorry, I'm going to scratch my armpit. If she's really fucking desperate, okay, she'll take someone she doesn't like. But she has to be really fucking desperate and she really has to not respect herself. It's easier for a guy to be with a girl he doesn't like. I've seen that many times. But even in relationships, not just fucking. But a girl being with a guy she doesn't like, not likely. She has to be desperate, or she has to hate the idea of being alone or being single rather than alone, because even when you're single you're not alone, and even when you're dating you technically are alone. I mean, it's me, myself, and I, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I go to bed with myself, I shower with myself, I eat with myself, whatever I do, even if I do it alone, I do it by myself, you know what I mean? So, like, I got myself, do you know what I mean? But that's off topic. So you gotta read people's actions, not what people say. Oh, I'm traumatized. No, bitch, you don't like me enough. Because no matter how many traumas... Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. My parents, like, my dad has had... Well, both of my parents have had, like, traumatic shit happen in the past, right? Both, I guess you could say they could be a little bit traumatized in ways, but I don't know to what extent in past relationships they've had trauma, but they still chose each other. You know what I mean? I mean, I hope they don't divorce. It might happen. I don't know, but you never say never. But the thing is, I hope they don't. But here's the thing. Like, no matter how traumatized my dad can be, no matter how traumatized my mom can be, no matter if they are over that trauma, if they worked on their trauma, if they haven't, there's some things they've worked on. There's other things they haven't worked on. But they still chose each other. That's fucking it. You know what I mean? Maybe they're traumatized, but whether they're traumatized or not, they don't like you enough. You don't convince them. If they're with you, but then they go and then they come back, it's because they don't have anyone else to go to. That's why they come back. And because they know you're going to be there. Also, women, like, we usually do that stupid shit. I'm not saying, I've never been in a relationship. You know what I mean? The coach doesn't play. But the thing is, there's women who are always there for the guy they like. You know, they go, they come back, whatever, and she's always going to be there because she doesn't respect herself. But for a guy to always be there, like, she goes and comes back and he's always there, he has to like her a lot. Let me tell you something. This guy I like, he must like her a lot to be like, okay, now she's back. Maybe not for a long time, but she's back for now. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is wild. Like, as a man, I think it's wild. And I think that as a woman, like, we supposedly should attract, not chase, like, let's say biologically speaking. So it's kind of degrading for the woman to, like, wait for him, you know? So I guess it could be less degrading for the man to wait for her, because it's like, okay, I chose this girl, so, and I have to earn her. She has to choose me, if that makes sense. But considering that men are the ones that are doing that, what she's doing right now, men are usually the ones who do that. Like, I don't know, I just think it's kind of degrading for him as a man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that is our job, to be fucking stupid and wait for him. You know what I mean? He's literally waiting for her, which is so fucking interesting. Regardless of the fact that I like him and stuff like that, we're just talking about it from an objective point of view. But, I don't know, I just think it's insane. I just think it's insane. And honestly, me, like, if we're talking about me, I feel kind of degraded that, like, this guy has 2 girls plus cattle. At least I know that I like him, so I'm, as far as I know, the only cattle. The only one I know of, or the only one I know, you know? So it's, for me, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm just there. You know what I mean? I think he's somewhat attracted to me. You know what I mean? Like, he's showed like signs and shit that I'm like, there's no way he would have done this or said that or done the other thing if he wasn't attracted to me whatsoever. But men are like that. You know what I mean? And I heard this on TikTok. Like, it's not a compliment when a guy likes you, when a guy is attracted to you sexually, because as we said before, men could flip anybody. I feel like they could flip anybody. You know what I mean? I don't want to turn it. I was just thinking as I'm saying this, I don't want to turn into one of these channels like men do this and women do that and women should do this and men should do that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. But the point of this video is not what men and women do and shit like that. This is just what I've seen from my experience. I'm not saying all men are like this, all women are like that. I don't want to be like that. But this is from my experience. This is what I've seen. You know what I mean? This is what I've experienced and this is what I've been told by people. But the thing is, like, and what I've seen other people do, if that makes sense. And what was I going to say? But my point is, read what people do, not what people say. Because if they are really nice and they talk to you and they say this and that or whatever, but then they act nonchalant, well, not nonchalant, but indifferent towards you. They act like they don't give a fuck. If they don't listen to you when you're talking, if they don't ask you about yourself, they don't give a shit about you. And I'm not talking about relationships, also like friends and shit. You know what I mean? If they always have an excuse not to hang out with you, even like this could be a friendship or relationship, whoever it is, they don't like you enough to hang out with you. They don't want to hang out with you if they're always fucking, telling you excuses and shit. You know what I mean? You gotta read people's actions, even if they're like, oh my god, I'm so excited to meet up with you, but here's the thing, like, I have this thing going on. How about next week? And then that next week they tell you, yeah, but I have this other thing. They don't want to hang out with you. They can tell you 100 million times, like, oh my god, I'm so excited to hang out with you. I can't wait to hang out with you again. But if they always have fucking excuses not to hang out with you, and that means they rather do anything else but hang out with you, that means they don't like you enough to hang out with you. It's fucking simple. Just, what is the action? What is it that they're doing? And why do you think that is? Like, if they're treating me like shit, why do you think it is? Because they are shit. Like, it's fucking, yeah, that's it. If they are indifferent, it's because I am indifferent to them. They feel indifferent about me. In other words, they don't give a shit about me. They don't care if I live or die. I heard this the other day and I love it. They don't care if you live or die. That's it. And if they come back, it's because they know you're going to be there waiting for them to come back. And they will also come back because they don't have anyone better. For now, they haven't found anyone better than you. So there's that, we can talk, I could go on and on talking about this shit, but yeah, that was my thesis of today. I should go back to working on my actual thesis, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.